Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namaste Balinam Shrestha Namaste Dharanidhara Pralambari Namastestu Trahimam Krishna Purvaja. We're very, very fortunate to be here in Vrindavan on this day. If you consider what percentage of the population of this earth is able to sit here in this room and hear Srimad Bhagavatam and glorify the personality of Godhead, Sri Balaram, on this day, his appearance day, in this holy dham, it's almost inestimable how much good fortune we have. By whose divine grace? By Srila Prabhupada's divine grace. So how fortunate we are. Instead of being buried underneath the rubble of a California earthquake, or being raped in Brazil, or being imprisoned in People's Republic of China because of your religious beliefs, we're able to sit here. Count your good fortune. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, a few things we can say about Lord Balaram. I was thinking to visit the 10th canto, chapter 65, which describes Lord Balaram's visit to Vrindavan. I'll just read the chapter summary here after we, first of all, take Ashirvad from august seniors who are present, ask for all of your mercy that we can say something. As Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself prays at the end of 10th canto, he says, Madgavira pi Gopala swikuryat kripaya yadi tadaivayasam payapitva hrishayus tad priyajanaha. Only if Gopala accepts the cows that are my words, then I can produce some milk that will give the devotees who are dear to him some delight. So please be kind upon me in this way. Lord Balaram visits Vrindavan. Again, this is 10th canto, chapter 65. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णे स्वधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशामेष पुराणार्को धुनोदितः. This chapter relates how Lord Balaram went to Gokula, enjoyed the company of the cowherd girls, and dragged the Yamuna River. One day, Lord Balaram went to Gokula to see his relatives and friends. When he arrived there, the elder Gopis and Lord Krishna's parents, Nanda and Yashoda, who had been in great anxiety for a long time, embraced him and blessed him. Lord Balaram offered appropriate respects and greetings to each of his worshipable elders according to age, friendship, and family relation. After Gokula's residence and Lord Balaram had inquired about each other's welfare, the Lord rested from his journey. In a short while, the young gopis came to Lord Balaram and questioned him about Krishna's well-being. They asked, "Does Krishna still remember his parents and friends? And will he be coming to Gokula to visit them? For Krishna's sake, we gave up everything, even our fathers, mothers, and other relatives, but now he has abandoned us. How could we help but put our faith in Krishna's words after seeing his sweetly smiling face and thus being overwhelmed by the urges of Cupid? Still, if Krishna can spend his days in separation from us, why can't we tolerate separation from him? So there's no reason to keep talking about him." In this manner, the gopis remembered Sri Krishna's charming talks and chanting glances, playful gestures, and loving embraces, and as a result, they began to cry. Lord Balaram consoled them by conveying the attractive messages Krishna had given him for them. Lord Balaram stayed in Gokula for 2 months, sporting with the gopis in the groves on the Yamuna's shore. The demigods who witnessed these pastimes played kettle drums in the heavens and showered down flower petals, while the celestial sages recited Balaram's glories. One day, Lord Balaram became intoxicated by drinking some Varuni liquor and began wandering about the forest in the company of the gopis. He called out to the Yamuna, "Come near, so I and the gopis can enjoy sporting in your waters." But the Yamuna ignored his command. Lord Balaram then started to pull the Yamuna with the end of his plow, splitting her into hundreds of tributaries. Trembling out of fright, the goddess Yamuna appeared, fell down at Lord Balaram's feet, and prayed for forgiveness. Has anyone ever seen the Yamuna tremble? No? No, she trembles all the time. She's still trembling even now. They're called ripples. Actually, Rupa Goswami says that with each wave, she's offering obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrajendra Kumar, the son of the king of Vraja, this Yamuna. The Lord let her go and then entered her waters with his girlfriends to sport for some time. How did they sport? Like what? Like a he-elephant enjoying in the company of many she-elephants. Standard example in Krishna's pastimes. When they rose from the water, the goddess Kanti presented Lord Balaram with some beautiful ornaments, clothing, and garlands. Even today, the Yamuna River flows through the many channels cut by Lord Baladev's plow, the signs of his having subdued her. While Lord Balaram played, his mind became enchanted by the gopis' pastimes. Thus the many nights he spent in their company seemed to him like a single night. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Balabhadra Kurushrestha Bhagavan Rathamasthitah Suhrid Didrikshurudkantha Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Shukdev Goswami said, O best of the Kurus, once Lord Balaram, eager to visit his well-wishing friends, mounted his chariot and traveled to Nanda Gokula. Who did he go to visit? Who was he eager to visit? His relatives. What did I just read? He was going to visit whom? You have to bookmark this. His friends. Now, let's listen to what Srila Prabhupada writes in his summary study of this pastime. Lord Balaram became very anxious to see his father and mother in Vrindavan. Therefore, with great enthusiasm, he started on a chariot for Vrindavan. So in one place we hear that he's going to see his friends, and in the other place we hear that he's going to see his parents. There's a great deal of commentary on this statement. Suhrid drikshur utkantha. Utkantha. The Lord was anxious. What does utkantha mean? Kantha. Kantha. What is the meaning of kantha? Just like we say every day, I hope. Govindam kantha kupake. In the well that is your throat, you should put the name of Govinda. So kantha means the throat. Ut, what does this prefix ut mean? Up. Like that. When you're looking like this, that means you're anxious for someone to come. You're waiting for someone to come, or you're waiting to see that person. It's described that when Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends would come home at the end of the day, what time of day is that called? Godhulikal. Godhulikal. The time when the cows produce dust. If you live in a society that cherishes cows, we cherish cell phones. But if you live in a society that cherishes cows, then your whole language is colored with that value system. Godhulikal. Godhulikal means when the cows come home at the end of the day. We used to say this in English. You can talk about this until the cows come home. They used to say this in English language also. Muhavara. So, when this happens, Mother Yashoda chooses the tall gopis, gopis who are very tall, to go up on the Chandrashala. Chandrashala is a little place on the roof from which you can view the moon, Chandra. She sends tall gopis up there because they don't have to strain their necks. Their necks are already higher than other people's necks. So she sends those gopis. See if you can see any clouds of dust off in the horizon. That means that Krishna is on the way home. And once they get the idea that Krishna and Balaram are on the way home, then all sorts of things are set in motion. Becomes very, very busy at that time. And when Krishna comes home, it's a festival every evening. This is what we call Sandhya, Sandhya Arati. Okay, so Utkantha. Balaram was feeling this similar anxiousness, anxiety, waiting, eager to see these gopis. And particularly it's mentioned here his friends, and it's also mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, his parents. So Didrikshur. Didrikshur means he wants to see them. All right. So Suhrid means, according to Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami and other acharyas, means especially Nandadi. Nanda and Yashoda, but all the elders in general. Srila Rupa Goswami has written a very nice verse of his own volition. What is Rupa Goswami's ontological identity in Krishna's Leela? who is Sri Rupa Goswami in Krishna Lila. Rupa Manjari, one of the most intimate of the servitors of the Gopis, Rupa Manjari. And he has composed his own verse of his own volition. Puryanugraha chitena chetasa lalanot kamavihata kripakulam Gaudavena Guruna Jagat Guror Gaudavam Ganam Aganyam Ashriye. That means, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the unlimited elderly devotees of Lord Krishna, the Guru Janas of Lord Krishna, who out of their Gaudava, they have, what is their consciousness? Their consciousness is fused with anugraha. What is this rasa? When you feel compassion on the Lord. Vatsalya rasa. Parents feel this. When they see the little child helpless to do something, it just melts their heart. And they get a desire to take care of him. That's called vatsalya. Why is it called vatsalya? Again, this comes back to cows. What are the children of the cows called? Vatsha. So the way a mother loves her cow, her calf, that is considered to be the paragon of maternal affection. Vatsalya rasa. So these devotees, their consciousness is always thinking of how to take care of Krishna. And for this reason, they are considered the gurus of even Jagat Guru, Lord Krishna. And Rupa Goswami, who is Rupa Manjari herself, offers them humble, respectful obeisances. Similarly, in his Padyavali, he has written himself another verse about Mother Yashoda in particular. Well, first of all, Nanda. Anybody know what is the Pranama mantra for Nanda? Maharaj given in Padyavali? Shrutam apare smritamitere bharatamanye bhajantu bhavabhitaha ahamehanandam vande yasya linde param brahma. This verse was written by the Tairabhukta Kavi. Tairabhukta Kavi means Raghupati Upadhyaya, because he was living in Tiruhuta, known in Sanskrit as Tirabhukta, the place where you enjoy on the bank of the river, Mithila. Many, many pundits used to live in that place. Who is one of them? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Raghupati Upadhyaya, he's another one. When he came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu near Prayag, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at that time staying in the house of Vallabhacharya, and as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him, he asked him to recite some Krishna Katha, and this is what he said. Rupa Goswami, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, valued that verse very much, enough to keep it in his Padyavali as the Pranama mantra for Maharaj Nanda. And Rupa Goswami himself composed the Pranama mantra for Mother Yashoda, which is Ankaga Pankajanabham Navya Ghanabham Vichitruchisachayam Virichita Jagat Pramodam Muhur Yashodam Namasyami. I will offer my respectful obeisances, he says, unto Mother Yashoda, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sitting in her lap. Ankaga Pankajanabham. That Lord, the Lord who has a lotus sprouting from his navel, is sitting in the lap of Mother Yashoda. Navya Ghanabham Vichitruchisichayam. And Mother Yashoda's dress is colored like what? Her complexion is like dark blue color, and her dress is like bright yellow color. Bright clothing, it's described in different ways. So, Virachita Jagat Pramodam Muhur Yashodam Namasyami. And she is the one who has brought about the appearance in this world of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who delights the entire three worlds. Everyone is pleased only by one thing, and that is Krishna. Anything other than Krishna will frustrate us. So he offers his respects to Mother Yashoda. Even the Gopis, we find again and again, they're also saying these things. So this is emphasized by the Acharyas in their commentaries on this verse. Balaram was very eager particularly to come and see his parents. So, Jiva Goswami points out Lord Balaram's journey to Sri Vrindavan is also described in the Harivamsha, which says, remembering the deep friendship he enjoyed with the cowherd folk, Lord Ram went alone to Vraja. Gopeshu. Remember, there's different kinds of gopas. Young gopas, but there's also older gopas. Just like there's different kinds of gopis. He went alone to Vraja, having taken Lord Krishna's permission. The simple residents of Vrindavan were aggrieved that Lord Krishna had gone to live elsewhere, so Lord Balaram went there to console them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur addresses the question of why Lord Krishna, the great ocean of pure love, did not also go to Vraja. In explanation, the Acharya provides the following two verses. Quote, the Yadus considered, the Lord's beloved girlfriends are famous for their pure ecstatic love, and his parents are extremely affectionate toward him. Lord Krishna is controlled by pure love, so if he goes to see them, how will he be able to leave them and come back to us? With this in mind, the Yadus prevented Lord Hari from going, knowing that he becomes subservient to the pastimes in which he reciprocates the ever-increasing love of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Does that answer the question? The devotees sometimes have conflicting interests. Have you noticed? This happens even in the spiritual world. So the Yadus didn't want to give Krishna permission to go. But instead, Krishna was also feeling so anxious, he actually gave this permission to Balaram. This is the answer to the next question raised by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says, how could Balaram leave Krishna, who is more dear to him than his own life? If the Yadus could not stand the separation from Krishna, Krishna leaving Dwarka, then how could Balaram tolerate this? So Sanatana Goswami, it's described in different ways. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Balaram came only because of this, he was overwhelmed by the strength of the memory of his parents' pure love, Shuddha Sneha. What does Sneha mean? In Hindi we have this word also, Neha. Neha means actually Sneha, but what does Sneha mean? Snihyati, stickiness, snigdha. Yes, you stick to that person, you don't want to leave that person. This is the idea. So Balaram was overwhelmed, and because he was overwhelmed, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he lost his dhairya, he lost his self-control, and he lost his discrimination, viveka. Both of them he lost. Therefore he was able to go away from Krishna, because he went mad with separation from the love of the Vrajavasis. Sanatana Goswami has a slightly different view on it. He says, Balaram actually understands Krishna's innermost desire, and therefore Balaram, anticipating the Lord's anxiety for the Vrajavasis, he came on his behalf. And he refers us ahead in this chapter to text number 16, which I'll read now. Many things in this chapter. Very interesting. The Supreme Lord Balaram, the attractor of all, being expert at various kinds of conciliation, consoled the gopis by relaying to them the confidential messages Lord Krishna had sent with him. These messages deeply touched the gopis' hearts. Santvayam asa bhagavan nananunaya kovitaha sandeshair hridayangamaihi sankarshanasthaha krishnasya. Jiva Goswami quotes the following verse from Vishnu Purana, which described the messages Lord Balaram brought from Krishna to the gopis. Lord Balaram consoled the gopis by giving them Krishna's most charming messages, which expressed sweet conciliation, which were inspired by his pure love for them, and which were without a tinge of pride. Srila Jiva Goswami also comments that the use of the name Sankarshana here implies that Balaram attracted Lord Krishna to appear in his mind, and in this way showed Sri Krishna to the gopis. Thus Balaram consoled Sri Krishna's beloved girlfriends. You understand this? Sankarshana. Sankarshana. He drew Krishna from Dwarka all the way to Vrindavan, but in such a way that the Yadus could not recognize that Krishna was absent within his own heart. And then Krishna came out of Balaram's heart in the form of the words of Krishna's own message to the Gopis. And this was sufficient. It was actually Krishna coming back again. There are different schools of thought. Some people say that Krishna does not return to Brajadham after leaving for Mathura and Dwarka. Some people say that he does come back. We hear both things. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Lord Krishna sent various messages. Some instructed the gopis in transcendental knowledge, others were conciliatory, and still others revealed the Lord's power. Besides its given meaning, the word Hridayam Ganaihi also indicates that these messages were confidential. What does Hridayangama mean? Hridayam means heart. And Gama means it goes. It goes only in the heart. It means it doesn't come out of the heart. That means confidential. Okay. So in the next verse, Parishvaktas chirotkantair gopair gopi bhirevacha Ramo bhivadya pitarao ashirphir abhinanditaha. Having long suffered the anxiety of separation, the cowherd men and their wives embraced Lord Balaram. The Lord then offered respects to his parents, and they joyfully greeted him with prayers. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the following verse regarding this situation. Nityananda surupopi prema tapto vrajaukasam yayo krishnamapi tyaktva yastam ramam muhurstumah. Let us repeatedly glorify Lord Balaram. Although he is the original personality of eternal bliss, Nityananda, he felt pained by his love for the residents of Vraja, and thus he went to see them, even at the cost of leaving Lord Krishna. So this is the answer to the question, how can Balaram leave Lord Krishna? Chiram nah pahi dasharha sanujo jagadishwaraha Ityaropangamalingya netre shichitatur jalayhi. Nanda and Yashoda then prayed, O descendant of Dashartha, O Lord of the universe, may you and your younger brother Krishna ever protect us. Saying this, they raised Sri Balaram onto their laps by force, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur notes, and embraced him and moistened him with the tears from their eyes. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami comments on this verse as follows. Nanda and Yashoda prayed to Sri Balaram, may you, along with your younger brother, protect us. Thus they expressed their respect for the fact that he is the elder brother, and they also showed how much they considered him their own son. Moreover, it's described that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, the reason that they say, please protect us, Jagadishwara, addressing their own son, is that they were reasoning, since you're famed as the Lord of the entire universe, you should not exclude anyone, certainly not to speak of your own parents. You should protect us. What should you protect us from? What are they suffering from? Separation. Do something. And they use the word here, chiram naha pahi. Protect us for a long time. How is he going to do that? You come back and stay. This is the implicit message. Okay. Gopi vrittamscha vidhivat vishtheda bhivanditaha yatha vayo yatha sakhyam yatha sambandham atmanaha samupetyaha gopalan hasya hastagrahadibhi Vishrantam sukamasinam paprachu paryupagataha Prishtaschanavayam svesho prema gadgadaya gira Krishne kamalapatrakshe sanyastakhilarathasaha. Lord Balaram then paid proper respects to the elder cowherd men, and the younger ones all greeted him respectfully. He met them all with smiles, handshakes, and so on, dealing personally with each one according to age, degree of friendship, and family relationship. Then after resting, the Lord accepted a comfortable seat, and they all gathered around him. With voices faltering out of love for him, these cowherds, who had dedicated everything to lotus-eyed Krishna, asked about the health of their dear ones in Dwarka, and Balaram in turn asked about the cowherds' welfare. So the elder Gopas, they asked about the welfare of those of their generation, and the younger ones asked about the younger ones. This is the idea. It's explained here by the Acharya's commenting here. Another thing is, Gopa Vridhamscha Vidhivat. According to the Vidhi. What does Vidhi mean? Shastric injunction. According to the Vidhi, Lord Balaram offered respects, or he accepted the respects of the juniors. Everyone has to follow the Shastric injunctions. This is the way of determining what to do and what not to do in a given time, place, and circumstance. Where do we hear this in Bhagavad-Gita? Next verse, 24. Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vijanataha. In this way, one should understand what to do. And Balaram is the Adi Guru. He is the original Guru. Adau Guru Ashraya, we say. So today we can also say Adau Baladeva Ashraya. He is the original Guru. But how can he be the original Guru unless he teaches by example? Where do we hear this principle? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 21. Yadyarachariti Shreshthas, whatever the person who's Shrestha does, Shrestha means the best, everybody's automatically going to take that as a standard. I've heard this, have you? You see something controversial? You ask someone to defend it? Well, so-and-so did it. This is what we do. Therefore, Krishna says, be very careful what you do. Tasmat chastram pramanante karya karya vijanata. Therefore, Balaram is setting the example here. Not only Balaram, so many times we see the Gopis and others, they're also doing like this. When Akrura first came to Vrindavan with his chariot, they saw this fancy chariot parked in front of Nanda and Yashoda's house. When did they notice that the chariot was there, the Gopis? Anybody recall the story? They rose early in the morning, they finished their household duties, and what was their first concern after that? As soon as the first thing they did when they left the house was, they went to Nanda and Yashoda to pay their respects to Bali Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. It would seem that every day they did this. Every day. So this is the Vidhivat. Gopa Vridhamscha Vidhivat. Balaram is also giving this example. Okay. Now in the next verse, it is our great fortune that sinful Kamsa has been killed and our dear relatives freed. It is also our good fortune that our relatives have killed and defeated their enemies and found complete security in a great fortress. Shukdev Goswami continued, honored to have the personal audience of Lord Balaram, the young Gopis smiled and asked him, is Krishna, the darling of city women, living happily? Gopyo hasantya paprachu Rama sandarshanat adrataha Kachit aste sukham Krishna pura stri jana vallabha. Pura stri jana vallabha. This is the first thing on the Gopis' mind. How is Krishna dealing with the women in Dwarka? According to the Acharyas, Lord Krishna's beloved girlfriends were smiling with divine madness, since they were feeling extreme unhappiness and separation from their beloved Krishna. Lord Rama deeply respected their great love for Sri Krishna, his younger brother, and thus the term Rama Sandarshanadritaha carries the meaning that Lord Balaram honored the Gopis, as well as the given meaning that they honored him. This is a very deep thing as well. Hasanti, the word is used. They were laughing, not exactly laughing, but they were smiling. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tells us that they never would have been so bold as to smile like this in front of Balaram. Or especially in Ask Balaram about the city women of Dwarka and how they're relating to Krishna. Directly, first thing. They would never have said such a thing. He uses the words, Shri Baladeva Syagre Tasya Paramalajjavatinam Katham Anyatha Hasa Sambhavet. It would not be possible for them to do this. Therefore, the explanation is that they were so mad with divine love that they just could not control themselves, any more than Balaram could control himself. What did Balaram lose? Which allowed him to separate himself from Krishna to come and visit the Vrajavasis? Two things we mentioned. Dhairya and Viveka. These two things. Prema overwhelms them. Prabala Prema. So this is happening to Balaram. It's also happening to the Gopis. And therefore the word is used adrita. Balaram in turn, once he saw their behavior and could understand from the way that they were dealing with him, the depth of their love, then he also felt great respect for them. Sandarshanadritaha. He was very respectful to the Gopis as well. Not exactly to the Gopis, but respectful to that love that they embodied forever. And this is the idea given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So in text 10 we hear, they're asking him, the Gopis are continuing, does he remember his family members, especially his father and mother? Do you think he'll ever come back, even once, to see his mother? And does mighty armed Krishna remember the service we always did for him? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that the Gopis would render service to Lord Krishna by stringing flower garlands, skillfully using perfumes, and constructing fans, beds, and canopies out of flower petals. Just like the women in Krishna Balaram Mandir are doing this even today in 2019, correct? So, Yam krodha kama sahaja praniyadi bhiti vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavehi sanchintya tasya sadrishantanam apur ete. As we are conceiving in this life, as we're acting in this life, in our next life we will get a corresponding form. Sanchintya tasya sadrishim tanam apurete. He confers upon us a form that matches whatever our consciousness is in this lifetime. This is a fancy way of saying yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram, which Krishna says in sankshipt form in Bhagavad-Gita. Whatever you're thinking of at the time of death. But how does it actually transpire? Whatever you're doing in this lifetime, whatever you're thinking and meditating in this lifetime, how you're worshiping Krishna, what service you're rendering to Krishna, how deeply absorbed, what is your love? This is what creates, in effect, your coming body. And how many flavors of bodies are there? Yam krodha, kama, sahaja pranaya, adibhiti, vatsalya, moha guru gaurava sevya bhavehi. Here we're talking about vatsalya moha and guru gaurava. We've already mentioned. Rupa Goswami himself has already mentioned this. This is the vatsalya rasa. So what are the Gopis asking about here? Family members, in particular, what family members? His parents. We see, I mentioned already, we see this again and again. What are some examples? I mentioned when they first came to see Akrura's chariot, they were on their way to offer their respects to Nanda and Yashoda. But it's also found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the concern of these gopis with Krishna's parents. When Srimati Radharani is expressing her separation from Krishna, she says, I don't care for my personal unhappiness, but when I see the morose face of Mother Yashoda and the hearts of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan breaking because of you, I wonder whether you want to kill them all, or do you want to enliven them by coming there? Why are you simply keeping them alive in a state of suffering? The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want you dressed like a prince, nor do they want to see you, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence, they're all dying. What is their condition to be? This Braj poet Surdas, he wrote a pada in which he describes the cows of Vrindavan. They're looking very skinny and morose, and again they're walking up to your footprints and they're sniffing those footprints. Who knows what's on their mind? Bilva Mangala Thakur suggests what's on their mind. He says they're sniffing the scent of Vedanta in the footprints of Lord Krishna. Dear Krishna, you are the life and soul of Vrindavan Dham. You are especially the life of Nanda Maharaj. You are the only opulence in the land of Vrindavan, and you are very merciful. Please come and let all the residents of Vrindavan live. Kindly keep your lotus feet again in Vrindavan. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srimati Radharani did not express her personal unhappiness at being separated from Krishna. She wanted to evoke Krishna's feelings for the condition of all the others in Vrindavan, Mother Yashoda, Maharaj Nanda, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the birds and the bees on the banks of the Yamuna, the water of the Yamuna, the trees, the forests, and all the other paraphernalia associated with Krishna before he left Vrindavan for Mathura. These feelings of Srimati Radharani were manifested by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he invited Lord Jagannath Krishna to return to Vrindavan. This is the Ratha Yatra pastime, in case you didn't guess. So this is the depth of the love of the Vrajavasis which attracted Lord Balaram's mind and compelled Balaram to come here again, even after so many years apart. Krishna could not leave, the Yadus would never tolerate. Balaram, Krishna, it would seem, from the evidence quoted by our acharyas, Balaram was deputed by Krishna to come and say something, do something for these gopis. Now, in the coming verses, we have I'm going to stop now, but I'll just mention, in the coming verses, we have a conversation between Balaram and the gopis. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 39th chapter, text 31. Anyone know that? Evam bruvana virahatura bhrisham vrajastriya krishna vishakta manasaha visrajya lajjam sashru. Visrajya sashru. They're giving up all their shame, and they're crying out, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. This is also a verse that is quoted in the Chaitanya Charitamrita with regards to the separation of the Vrajavasis. But the Acharya is commenting on this verse that here again, Srimati Radharani is implying Lord Krishna's love. She's invoking Lord's love for his parents in particular by the name Damodar. Govinda, Damodar, Madhava. Damodar is, we know, the son of Mother Yashoda. Only her ropes could tie him up. So, in text 11 and 12, it continues here. For Krishna's sake, O descendant of Dasharha, we abandoned our mothers, fathers, brothers, husbands, children, and sisters, even though these family relations are difficult to give up. By now, O Lord, that same Krishna has suddenly abandoned us and gone away, breaking off all affectionate ties with us. And yet, how could any woman fail to trust his promises? The Acharyas point out that different gopis are saying different things at this point, because they all have different relationships. Just like sometimes we notice different disciples of Srila Prabhupada say different things about Srila Prabhupada and his teachings, because they all have different relationships. So in the same way, the gopis are all expressing different sentiments of devotion. Somebody is saying one thing, he's heartless, forget about him. Someone is saying something else, no, he's so kind, we can't understand why he's doing what he's doing. They're all saying different things here. And there's more, it gets more involved later on, we don't have any more time. But quickly I can summarize. Balaram tells the gopis that Krishna loves and remembers you all the time. And this verse answers that statement. No, he doesn't love us. Somebody said, some of the gopis, they say, no, he doesn't love us. He just gave us up. He left us high and dry. We gave everything to him. Impossible things to give up, we gave up for him. And now he's just left us. And to this day, he's not come back. Balaram can say, why didn't you stop him? They say, we had no basis of relationship anymore. He left. What could we do? Balaram may say, then how is it that you're still living? Because you must have obviously given up your relationship with him. Otherwise you would have died in separation. Anyone know the answer to that doubt? What do the gopis say about this? No, they said, we are alive only because he keeps sending messages like yours that I'm coming back soon. I will return to you. Therefore we're kept alive. And Balaram said, you still trust Krishna? If you still trust Krishna, then what's the problem? They said, well, the problem is that he hasn't come yet. we don't know, we think he's lying now. And then Balaram may ask, well, why did you ever trust Krishna at any time? And then he said, well, what to do? We're just less intelligent village girls. We don't think that these Dwarka, sophisticated women of Dwarka, they won't fall for this kind of thing. Krishna can get away with this with us. And then in the last sentence of the verse, yet how could any woman fail to trust his promises? This is a different gopi. She has a different opinion on this. She says, no, that doesn't work either. You don't understand. He has such charm that any woman, no matter how intelligent and sophisticated, once he speaks his sweet words in a certain way that only he can do, nobody can fail to trust him. So it's hopeless. Therefore, another gopi, we haven't read it yet, but she comes to her conclusion, why don't we just forget about him altogether? And then yet another gopi says, no, that's not possible either. We've been trying to do that for so many years. You see, they've all gone mad in Vrindavan. If we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is what we have to look forward to. Are you sure you want to do this? You will go mad. It's like we heard yesterday. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his guru and said, I think I've gone mad. What kind of mantra have you given me? So, confirmed. So, this is a little hint, a small glimpse only, into the wells of divine prema that has been revealed in this chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Balaram coming back to Vrindavan. Any particular sentence or statement in this chapter, if you dilate on it and look into it deeply, you'll see that it becomes an ocean with limitless artha. Artha means meaning and significance. And the commentaries of our acharyas illuminate this. But we have to stop now. Panchagoda Prabhu, our esteemed temple president, representative of Balaram, he will speak more on the transcendental position of Lord Balaram. So thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Krishna Balaram. Ki Jai.